Before we start, imagine this. You enter a virtual world. You play a game created by another user. Then you decide to build your own experience, create a digital chapter, buy a piece of virtual land, and maybe even sell one of your digital assets. At this point, are you still just playing a game? This question is exactly why our group chose the sandbox. The sandbox is not only one single game. It is a Web3 metaverse ecosystem where users can play, create, own digital assets, and take part in a digital economy. In my part of the presentation, I will first explain why we selected the sandbox, and then introduce the main concept and how the basic ecosystem works. A simple way to understand why this matters is to compare the sandbox with a traditional game. In many traditional games, players can buy skins, weapons, clothes, or other digital items. They may spend a lot of time and money on these items. However, the items normally stay inside the company's own system. The company controls the platform, the rules, and usually the digital items as well. The sandbox follows a different idea. It uses blockchain and NFTs to support digital ownership. This means users can own certain digital assets such as land and NFTs inside the ecosystem. Because of this, users can have more than one role. A person can simply be a player and enjoy different experience, but the same person may also become a creator and build digital content. Another user may own virtual land. Someone else may create a digital object or take part in the marketplace. This is one of the main reasons why we choose the sandbox. It gives us the opportunity to study the metaverse as a complete system rather than only as a game. Another reason is that the ecosystem has a clear structure. There are players who join the game and events. There are creators who build content. There are landowners who provide digital space. There are developers who maintain the tools and technology. Brands can also create a virtual event or branded experience. The community connects this different group through discussion, feedback, and participation. Now I will explain the basic idea of the sandbox. The easiest way to understand the ecosystem is through three words: play, create, and own. Let us start with play. Users can enter the sandbox and join different games, events, social space, and virtual experience. The important point is that there is not only one fixed game. Different experiences can be created by different people and groups. For example, one creator may build an adventure game, another group may create an NFT gallery, a brand may build a virtual event, a community could also create a social space. So users are not entering one single story or one single game world. They can explore different experiences inside the wild ecosystem. The second concept is create. This is one of the most important part of the sandbox because users are encouraged to become creators. The platform provides two important tools: Game Maker and Box Edit. The Game Maker allows users to build games and virtual experience. A very important point is that it can be used without traditional coding. This lowers the barrier for people to have creative ideas but are not professional programmers. The Vox Edit is used to create a voxel style, a digital object. This can include chapters, props, equipment, building, or other assets. The third concept is own. One important example is virtual land. Land can be understood as digital space inside the sandbox. Landowners can use their space for game, social areas, event, or branded experience. For example, a creator may use land to publish a small game. A brand could create a virtual showroom. A community could use the space for an online event. Ownership also connected to NFTs and other digital assets. These assets can be created, used, and in some cases traded inside the ecosystem. This brings us to the digital economy. The sandbox has a native token called Sand. It is used as part of the ecosystem's economic activity. The platform also has a marketplace where users can find and trade the digital assets. So, the basic structure is Cloud Connect. Players need interesting experience. Creators build those experiences. Vox Edit has created the digital objects. A game maker helped create a game in virtual space. Land providers digital space for some experience, and the marketplace connect users and digital assets. The Sand token support economic activity, and the wider community connects all these groups through participation and feedback. This is why the sandbox can be described as an ecosystem. No single part works completely alone. For the next part of our presentation, where the other elements and relationships within the sandbox ecosystem will be discussed in more detail.
Alright, my name is Karan Balani, and I'm going to be talking about the challenges and future trends. The biggest issue is that a lot few people are actually using the platform than you'd expect from something this well known. Daily active users have dropped to the low hundreds, and a good chunk of that traffic is suspected to be bots rather than real players. Most of the activity we do see really happens during scheduled alpha session events, and then it dies down again once the season ends. That's a real problem because the sandbox depends so heavily on network effects, which we covered earlier in the presentation. Fewer active users means less content being made, less happening in the marketplace, and less reason for new people to bother joining. On top of that, the Sand token has lost huge amount of its value. Its market cap fell by around 50% in a single quarter in 2025, and by 2026 it was trading at a small fraction of its 2021 peak. Since almost everything in the ecosystem runs through Sand, when it loses value, the reward creators and landowners get for putting in their work become less worth it, which makes them less likely to keep creating in the first place. In August 2025, the sandbox went through a major internal shakeup. More than half the staff were let go, and both co-founders were pushed out their day-to-day roles, with parent company Animoca Brands stepping in to take direct control because the sandbox is decentralized and its users are spreading across the whole world. It's also genuinely hard to apply one consistent legal framework to disputes over land ownership or NFT authenticity. And even though there's a DAO meant to give token holders a voice, large token holders still end up with way more influence over decisions than everyone else. So where does the sandbox go from here? A few things stand out. First, AI tools make content creation faster and easier. Second, new financial infrastructures for creators through Sandchain, a layer 2 network built for smaller, more frequent transactions like tips and rewards. Third, community-driven content, with more than half of each season's content planned to come from community-run games jams instead of core team. And finally, mobile accessibility, which could open the platform up to a much bigger audience.
I will be talking about the key components and participants of the metaverse, with a focus on how platforms like the Sandbox operate and why different rules are essential for the system to work. Traditionally, the metaverse was defined as a virtual reality space where users can interact with a computer generated environment and with each other. However, the definition has evolved. Today, the metaverse is better understood as a collection of digital platforms and ecosystems where each ecosystem can function as its own independent virtual universe. with its own rules, assets, and functionalities. A well-known example of a metaverse platform is the Sandbox, which is often one of the first projects people think of when discussing the metaverse. Within the virtual spaces, users are not just passive participants, they can create content, explore immersive experiences, and even generate income by contributing to the platform. To make the metaverse function properly, several key components are required. These include virtual worlds, metaverse platforms, creators, users, and developers. Without these elements working together, the metaverse would not be able to operate. First, we have virtual worlds. A virtual world is a fully digitalized environment where users can navigate, explore, and interact. In the metaverse, there are often multiple virtual worlds that users can move between. In some cases, users can even bring assets with them from one world to another, such as digital clothing or avatars. This creates continuity between experiences. For example, the Sandbox is a virtual world built on blockchain technology. It allows users to create avatars, build environments, and interact with one another. Users can even purchase virtual land, design experiences, host events, and create games. But most importantly, it is community driven, meaning that much of its content is created by users rather than a central company. Next to we have the metaverse platform itself, which acts as infrastructure. The platform is what makes everything possible. It provides tools, systems, security, and sometimes even a digital economy. Uh, Different platforms offers, of course, different capabilities, meaning each metaverse can function in a unique way. The Sandbox platform, for example, is built around three main tools. We have FoxEdit, Marketplace, and the Game Maker. FoxEd allows users to design 3D pixel-based assets such as characters, objects, and variables. These assets can then be uploaded to the marketplace where users can buy, sell, or trade them as NFTs. Finally, we also have the Game Maker that allows users to create interactive experiences without needing to write any code. This means people can build games, simulation, or even training environments in an accessible way. Another essential are the participants, like the creator. Creators are the people who design and build content for the metaverse. They use tools like Game Maker and FoxEd to develop experiences, assets, and environments. Without creators, there would be no content in the metaverse, and without content, there would be no reason for users to participate. This makes creators an important group in the ecosystem. Then we have the users themselves. Users are the people who explore, play, trade, and socialize within the metaverse. They bring the virtual world to life by engaging with the content created by others. Users can be players, collectors, traders, or even community members who help moderate and organize events. They also contribute to the economy by buying and selling digital assets, and in many ways, users are what keep the systems active and meaningful. Finally, there are also developers. Developers are the technical foundation of the metaverse. Unlike creators who often focus on design and content, developers build the system and code that make everything function. They create the tools that creators use, such as Game Maker, and ensure that the platform runs smoothly and securely. Without developers, most users would not have accessible tools to create, and the entire system would be far less functional. It is important to understand the relationship between participants. The Sandbox, for example, is highly community driven and describes itself as an open metaverse that welcomes everyone. Many users first engage with the platform through community spaces such as Discord servers where they verify their identity, follow certain rules, and interact with one another. These communities often include channels for announcements, feedback, and international communication, showing how global the platform is. Although not always highly active at all times, these spaces are important for maintaining engagement and communication between users, creators, and developers. Uh, a strong metaverse community depends on certain factors such as participation, relationship, and empathy. Participation keeps the community active. Relationship help people collaborate and stay engaged over time. And empathy helps resolve misunderstandings and maintain a healthy environment where people can work together effectively. Another important concept is the network effect. This refers to the idea that a platform becomes more valuable as more people use it. A clear example is the internet. In its early stages, it had limited users and limited value. However, as more people joined, more content was created, which attracted even more users, and this created a cycle of growth. The same applies to metaverse platforms like the Sandbox. As more users join, more content is created, which attracts even more users. This can lead to rapid growth, but it also creates challenges such as managing increased traffic and ensuring the platform remains stable and scalable. In conclusion, the metaverse is not just a single virtual world, but a complex ecosystem made up of platforms, creators, users, and developers. Each group plays an essential role, and the success of the metaverse depends on how well these groups interact. As participation grows and network effects strengthen, platforms like the Sandbox continue to evolve into more complex and immersive digital ecosystems.
Hi, this is Nina. So next part I'm going to talk about the technological infrastructure. So this slide introduces the technological infrastructure of the Sandbox. The platform combines blockchain technologies, NFTs, smart contracts, and the Sand token and creator tools to build a decentralized metaverse. And these technologies work together to give users ownership of digital assets and allow them to create and monetize virtual experiences. So the Sandbox is built on the Ethereum blockchain, which securely records ownership of digital assets such as land and NFTs. And to improve performance, it also uses Polygon, a layer 2 solution that makes transaction faster and reduces gas fees. NFTs represent digital ownership, allowing users to buy, sell, and trade virtual land, avatars, wearables, and other assets. And smart contracts automatically execute transactions without intermediaries, and they securely transfer NFT ownership, process payments, and ensure creators to receive royalties whenever their assets are resold. The platform's native cryptocurrency, Sand, is used to purchase land and NFTs, reward creators, and participants in governance, supporting the platform's digital economy. And the Sandbox also provides two easy-to-use creator tools. VoxEdit allows users to design voxel-based assets and mint them as NFTs. GameMaker enables users to create games and virtual experiences through a drag-and-drop interface without any coding skills. This makes content creation accessible to a wide range of users. Okay, and for this slide, I'm going to talk about the visual map. So this visual map shows the main building blocks of the metaverse and how they connect with each other. Instead of looking at these elements separately, the map illustrates how they work together to create a complete virtual ecosystem. So everything starts with technology. Technologies such as blockchain, AI, cloud computing, VR, and AR provide the foundation for immersive, secure, and scalable virtual environments. For example, like Ethereum blockchain enables secure ownership of digital assets like NFTs. And these technologies support metaverse platforms such as Sandbox, Decentraland, and Roblox. These platforms provide virtual spaces where users can create content, interact with others, and participate in digital experiences. And a metaverse also needs a digital economy. So like cryptocurrencies, NFTs, virtual land, and marketplaces allow users to own, trade, and monetize digital assets. In the Sandbox, users purchase land using Sand token. And the ecosystems is driven by different participants. It includes players, creators, developers, and brands. They continuously create content and contribute to the growth of the platform. And these participants generate different types of content, such as games, virtual events, social experiences, and educational activities, which attract users and keep the community engaged. So finally, governance ensures that the ecosystem remains secure and sustainable, and mechanisms such as DAO governance, security measures, and platform regulations help manage the virtual environment. So overall, this map demonstrates that a metaverse is not just a virtual world. It is an ecosystem where technology, platforms, digital economy, participants, and content and governance are all interconnected.
Okay, so now moving on to the conclusion. So to wrap everything up, we picked the Sandbox because it brings together almost every piece associated with the metaverse in one place. Virtual land, no-code creation tools, NFTs, a marketplace, and the Sand token tying the whole economy together. What we found is a platform that is technologically impressive, but not exactly stable. Fewer daily users, a volatile token, a major restructuring, unresolved legal and governance questions all point to a real gap between what the Sandbox was supposed to be and where it actually is right now. But its continued investment in AI, new creation tools, and mobile accessibility shows it is trying to close that gap, rather than walk away from the metaverse idea altogether. In the bigger picture of virtual reality and digital experiences, the Sandbox is a pretty honest example of both what's exciting and what's genuinely difficult about building an open, user-owned virtual world.